Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon and this is All Quiet in the Trenches. We are coming towards the end of this playthrough. We are back in the trenches and we have only 2 turns left until home leave. But of course, we have to survive and get through these trenches first. And who only knows what they will bring. Let's have a quick look. What defensive positions we got? We can set up some ladders. We can build a defensive position. Have we got any MG posts? Oh, yes, we do. We know that's getting built first. I still haven't got to play with an MG yet, but hopefully I will. And some barbed wire to go there. We've got plenty of defensive positions. Von Karsbrook, my man, how you doing? What do you need for us? We need more space, reinforcements for ammunition as the basis for our future victory. Of course, because we all know we're going to win, don't we, everybody? And so, rations and ammunition. We do need someone to go and fetch some rations. Some rations. We will give that to Menk. We need a couple of people to dig a bunker. That'll be Mail and Con. And so with 2 people left, let's set up that barbed wire. Guess that job done. Unfortunately, we didn't get around to... I so want to build that machine gun nest, and I want to go and play with one. Although... ooh, I don't know if I want another battle. I kind of want us to get to home leave, if I'm honest. Needs to, There's a wounded soldier somewhere out in no man's land. I can hear him calling for help again and again. If we could hold out until tonight, we could go over and search for him under the cover of darkness. No, we have to. We just can't. We can't just abandon our comrade. Recover wounded soldier. Oh, there's nothing from Von Karsbrook for the night. We have full ammo, full rations. Let's get that MG post set up. Although, hang on, recover. I'm going to send... although, ooh, no, wait. I will send... you 2. And so the rest of you get to set up the MG post. Make lots of noise setting up the MG post so that they can have cover. Look at that. We're on low prestige. We're almost into average. Menk. We found the wounded soldier in no man's land. He's alive and now in the field hospital. Nurse Elizabeth said it's looking good for him. We saved him. That's what I like. Determined added. Relieved added. I love it. Somewhat jaded has been removed. Change to exhausted. Change to strained. Von Karsbrook, how can we help you? What do you think? You want to play a little trick on the French? Send some of your men into no man's land tonight and cut through the barbed wire just outside the French trenches. Then the French will think we are preparing an attack and will barely dare to sleep out of fear. Haha. And no, my earlier question was rhetorical. I don't care what you think, this is an order. It's like he starts so friendly and jovial, you know? It's like, I don't know about how you guys felt, but at the beginning of the, beginning of the series, you first turn up to the trenches with your soldiers. You report to Von Karsbrook and he's like, yeah, man, give us a hug, come in here, we're one big happy family. Now he's just so mean. Horrible. What happened to that lovely, cuddly, teddy bear of Von Karsbrook that we all grew to know and love? Don't we all just miss him? Right, barbed wire. That'll be you 2. Fetch some ammo. That'll be you. Fetch some rations. That'll be you. And go take a jolly old rest. That'll be you. That rest back in camp mechanic that they added, a couple of updates ago now, don't get me wrong, is such a fantastic mechanic. What's the point? We are on average prestige. Something is going on in the French trenches. We should take a closer look. What else have we got? I consider you redeemed of your previous lapses. Good. That's what I like to hear. Recon. Oh, we have drained trenches as well. That's a bit annoying. Let's drain some trenches. That'll be... I'm going to say you 2. And you can go and fetch me some rations. Haven't seen much movement for hours while scouting the French. I think we have a very quiet day ahead of us. Von Karsbrook, how can I help ya? Artillery mortars and nightly commando operations by the French have left holes in our barbed wire. Send some people out to fix this tonight. 3 people, not just some people. Everybody. You, and you. How are we doing? We have full of everything else. Let's set up some ladders. Let us... We have our lovely MG position over here. I want to set up these ladders so that I can get to said MG position easier. Although I probably might be able to just from here. But if not, we're using these ladders and we're getting right in there. Next turn. That's, of course, if it does, in fact, come down to a fight. Which it may or may not do. Hey, artillery! Reporting back from my break. The material supply for this section has already been used up again. Probably wasted on some luxury projects, tables, chairs, beds. If I weren't so busy, I would personally keep inventory and make sure not a single nail was stolen from the Empire for personal projects. Unfortunately, I have more important tasks. For example, giving you tasks. Refill our supplies, Herr Unteroffizier. Yes, we've all been making bespoke furniture to send back to our families in our spare time. The French have been busier than usual lately. I have a bad feeling about this. Menk collapsed while working. We had him sent to the field hospital. I don't think he'll recover before we're relieved. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Get material. And he wasn't exhausted either. He just straight up collapsed. And we want to recon. Oh, ooh, our good guy's gone. Oh, hang on. Get material. Look at you. You've just come back from having a break. Go and fetch some ammunition, because apparently there's a bad feeling going on. We need more space here for reinforcements for ammunition as the basis for our future victory. Didn't see anything out of the ordinary during recon, Herr Unteroffizier. Hopefully that's a good sign. Rations for 2 days, and we also have to dig some bunkers. Team Blonde is going to dig bunkers. And you guys are going to fetch the rations and ammunition. January 26th, 1916. Von Karsbrook. I urgently need someone to deliver a message to headquarters. Send me your quickest man. Alright, how are we looking? We still need a bit of ammunition. Most people are quite tired, but you're actually not too bad. Fetch some ammunition. We'll give to you. And you are going to set me up some more ladders. Make it a bit easier to get around these trenches. I think they were just by there. Alright, let's go ahead and next turn. January 27th. 2 turns until we get to go back to camp. Heavy shelling, that's what we like to see. Well, let's just go and hit next turn. Hopefully it dies down in a turn. I don't think it will, because we will need to go and get some more food and ammunition. Still is heavy shelling. We hardly have anything left to eat. Yes, I know. It's unfortunate that, because that means that you now have to go on a task. Go and fetch some rations, my friend, and be doubly careful. Dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge. And hopefully we get out of here right now. Full rations. Ooh, artillery fire has been removed. Pack your things. Nice. That's what I like to hear. Not far from here, a part of the trench has... That's not my problem anymore, mate. And so, let's go back to camp. Change to strained. Change to tired. Oh, we've just gone and received Dana, it would seem. Jean-Pierre Dana. Nice to have you with us. Supply is running low. We have a few prisoners of war in camp that need guarding. Is there anything else? Do you remember I told you there'd be more work before you went home? We also have guard duty. Well, that's kind of rough. The hospital is not full, so, and he's only collapsed as well, so he should be getting very good recovery. Guard duty. What have we got? What have we got? It's not looking great. Guard captives, however, is not a tiring task. So that would be you and you. And then guard duty would be you two. Oh, look at this. Dana's trying to get in on Team Blonde. I don't think I like that. Dana had settled in effortlessly in many regards. As a professional soldier, many things had come very easily to him that other new soldiers had difficulties with. He had even become a kind of mentor to some of his comrades, whom he could help out with his wealth of experience. However, word had already got around that he was Alsatian. Basically a Frenchman, as some people put it, even in his presence. One evening, he stood in front of my tent and asked for a word. Herr Unteroffizier, is my origin a problem for you? He asked straightforwardly, in a somewhat peculiar Alsatian dialect. After the defeat of the Franco-Prussian War of 1870-71, France had to cede the Alsace-Lorraine region to the newly formed German Empire. Although the region had belonged to France for centuries, due to its location between the two nations, it was still heavily influenced by Germany historically and especially linguistically. However, in the First World War and the years leading up to it, Alsatians often ended up being distrusted by both sides. Too German for the French and too French for the German. Not in the slightest. Dana nodded contentedly and looked relieved. I'm glad to hear that. It does wear on me a bit the way some of the men seem to think about me. You know, I come from a family of soldiers. I was a soldier before this war started. I'm proud of what I do. Rightly so. I confirmed. With your experience and attitude alone, you already bring more honor to the uniform than some others in this camp. Thank you, Herr Unteroffizier, Dana replied, saluted neatly, and left with renewed vigor in his step. Alright, home leave in a turn. Does it really matter what we do right now? We're short of firewood. Who cares? Change to very outspoken. Fair enough. Change to favorable. Standard rations. Tired removed. Standard rations removed. Change to strained. Grateful removed. Change down to tired. How can we help you all, you fine, fine folk? Unit is tasked with guard duty. Appoint 2 men. Only proper documentation. It's time to take stock so I finally know what I actually have. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Oh, well. Males are supposed to receive a Liebesgabe. This ought to make him happy. I think he'll share. He's very sociable. He's no longer jaded, though. That just disappeared. However, he then hastily packed it away again and stowed the new private supply in his tent. Looking forward to for weeks had finally arrived. Our home leave began today. The whole morning was filled with hustle and bustle, until we finally reached our train amidst much fanfare. Now I was sitting here, looking out of the window, and could hardly believe it. We were really going home. Everything seemed so unreal to me. The passing landscape with those pretty little villages, the clear sky with scattered clouds, and the warmth of the sun on my face. It all seemed so removed from our past experience, as if it had just been a bad dream. And yet, I had to think about Schmidbauer. He hadn't made it. I hadn't managed to get him through this. How many more would have to give their lives in this war? How many of my people? And how many other soldiers on both sides of the trenches? The war was not yet over, and who knew how much longer it might still go on? Now we had a few weeks of rest. But what would it be like to have to go back to the front afterwards? Saddled with everything we now knew about the war. Everything we had seen and experienced. All the horror, the misery, the suffering. I gave a heavy sigh and closed my eyes. Those were thoughts for another day. Now was a time for home, family, and living life while it lasted. Well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of this playthrough. Because, of course, so far at Early Access, we do only have up to, as you can see, the 19th of February, 1916. That is, I don't know if that's a firm date or that's a rough date, but basically when you finish around those dates is when the playthrough ends. Of course, in the next update, which, of course, isn't going to be happening this year, we are pretty much towards the end of the year already. They are going to be adding the gas update, which will add another year of gameplay, where we will get to experience even more attrition, even more pain, even more horror. And even more disappointment and sadness when we unfortunately lose the soldiers under our command to the horrors that were World War One. And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, that just leaves me to bid you a thank you for watching the series. I hope you have truly enjoyed it, and you will continue to come back as we continue to play the game, as more updates come out, and as more things are released. And that just leaves me to say, from the bottom of my heart, that until we see you again, I hope that you will, as always, stay safe, happy, and healthy.